Not me. Looks like you're ready to go live. Yes. You're live, it says. Okay, so then I need to get rid of, turn off your logo and can I still see you? Yes, but you shouldn't be visible on YouTube at the moment. Okay, I'll put that in the right. I can see you on Opera, and YouTube is blah blah blah. Oh dear. Well, first of all, let's see if they can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Because I know you can't see Emmanuel at the moment. I've got him on another tab. Can you hear me? Then there's all. Oh. Oh, now you've frozen. Let me go back to OBS. Can anyone hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Emmanuel's just disappeared. He's having network problems as we suspected. And he's just had to go offline. Oh, and he might be coming back. Right, he's back. Oh, but you've got that buzz again now. Well, let's try making you live and see what happens. So I'm going to turn myself off, guys, and we're going to try and bring in Emmanuel. He's having network issues, but okay, here he is. So then the next question is, if Emmanuel says something, can you hear him?
Hello.
Right, can you
hear me?
Because there's always like a 20-second delay between you asking and anyone being able to answer you.
Yeah, it's always like that.
Can you hear Emmanuel, folks? Somebody please say yes. Hello, Alan. Hello, Tina. Hello, Dark Angel. Hello, Perfume Addict.
Yeah, so they said they can
Kathy.
see me.
Hello, Crystal. You can see him. Can you hear him? You can see him. Can you hear him?
Okay.
You can hear him. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, you can see him and you can hear him. Brilliant. Okay. Well, we're keeping our fingers tightly crossed and hoping for better things this time round for loud and clear. Excellent. Is that Hunanu Preserve videos? Yes, you can hear him. Excellent. Okay, right. Well, thank you for joining us again and being willing to have another go, because last time was just terrible. So I'm sure everybody appreciates you. Yes, says Dark Angel. I'm sure everybody appreciates you coming again, and I know that I do.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll let you introduce yourself, because I'm sure we've got some different people on here. So, over to you.
Okay. So my name is Emmanuel. In Nigeria. I work as an IT support, but I am more inclined to cybersecurity, and I do videos on a channel called Cybersafe, where I try to expose online scams, and I try to just teach people basic cybersecurity stuff. And majorly my targets are those that are just getting to have new mobile phones, maybe those that are 13 years old, 14 years old, those ones that just got phones newly or mobile devices newly. They are usually targets to scams, hacks, and all those stuff. So those are my audience, and also the elderly. So basically everyone. But I think cyber security or cyber safety is something everyone needs to um, be aware of. So that's what I do. So I guess that's me. And is there any fun thing about me? I don't know if there's any fun thing about me because I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fun person, but perhaps if you get to know me, you
You're a
you figure
nerd
that
like me,
out.
probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Many years ago. Oh, that's exciting. Apparently, everybody's now seeing a blank screen. Oh, that's, what is everybody seeing? Oh, everybody is now seeing that I was going to go and grab the link. I'll tell you what, because obviously if I change tabs, you're going to see, not going to see Emmanuel. No, it was me, Kathy. Could one of you, Kathy, or Perfume Addict, or someone, could you hop on YouTube and find SE Cybersafe's channel link? Because I don't think I put it in the description. I might have done. And I was just trying to hop onto YouTube and grab it. But apparently it's going to... the way I've got things set up, I'm going to show you whichever tab I'm using to find his channel rather than showing you a manual, and you don't want to watch that. So hopefully somebody will find your channel link for me. So
Okay.
So what you've come to talk to us tonight about, I guess, is how ordinary viewers can protect themselves online from scams, basically. I've got a little list, which I think we talked about last time, but most of which most people didn't hear. But the first one that I know that I've got on the list is somebody asking to get a security code sent to your phone. Can you explain to
Hmm.
people what that's all about and why they shouldn't do it?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, when that happens, it's called social engineering, where they try to either call you via phone to tell you to send them a code that just got to your phone, and most likely they're trying to hack your account or your social media account. That's why they're requesting that, or even any sensitive. It could be an OTP to your banking application. I don't know how it works in other country, but sometimes maybe your banking application, where you need to complete a particular transaction and internet banking, you might require an OTP which they will send to either
And
your SIM
can you
card
just
or your mobile.
explain to people what an OTP is?
Okay, OTP is a one-time password. It's just a form of code like numbers that is sent to you for you to authenticate, for you to say, okay, yes, I'm really the person that is trying to access this account. So it's a form of, I could say, two-factor authentication. Yeah, they are making sure that it's not a stranger that is trying to access a platform that the person is not supposed to access. So when they send you the OTP or the one-time password or code, then you can use that code to authenticate that you are really the user of, or you are really the person trying to access your account. So that's what an OTP is. And what these scammers do is that they try to bypass. Somehow they could have gotten your password, because most times they must have gotten your password before they can trigger the OTP to be sent, except for platforms like WhatsApp, where you don't really need to have the password to be able to trigger the OTP. Platforms like Facebook, for example, if someone already has your password and perhaps you have two-step verification enabled, then it will require you to put in that OTP for you to verify or authenticate the account. So most times it's advisable to use all these other like Google Authenticator, Authy, and other what they call them again? What they call them? I don't know why the name just I don't know why it skipped my memory, but yeah, using your SIM cards or using your SIM as a means for getting OTP. It's not really the best, but it's still you can still make do with that. So I guess I don't want to go too in depth in this, but I assume you know what I'm talking about. So if anyone requests any code from you and says, please just send me the code you got from your friend,
Oh dear, Emmanuel's frozen again. Oh
you've
dear.
done
Oh,
yourself harm.
oh, you froze there.
Uh, I my network.
Yes.
Uh,
So the bottom line is, if anybody, even if you're online to somebody that you believe is a support technician, that's sometimes how the scam call centres work. If anyone says that a code is going to be sent to your phone, never, never share it. In fact, you'll find that the bank apps all say never share the code, but of course, people don't stop and think and they share it because the person that they're talking to just says, I'm going to get a code sent to the phone. And the classic one is somebody says, I can't access my phone, or I've lost my phone. Can I get a code sent to you? And
yeah.
you should
Uh,
never,
that,
never, never share it.
Yeah, let me also just I just remembered something also. There's also a trick that or the reason why you might feel like why would people still be falling for something as such as something like this when there's a lot of awareness on it. For example, hackers when they hack your friend's maybe Facebook account, then they would reach out to you as your friend and say, hey, please I need you. You will receive an OTP or a code right now to your mobile phone. Please help me send that code. I was discussing with Facebook, and Facebook said for me to be able to access a part of my account or for me to be able to activate my ads, I need to be able to verify I'm the one using my account, and I need to verify my friends and something like that. So they will just give you some bogus information, and then once you assume it's your friend that is talking to you and you send them that code which got to your phone, you will notice that your account will automatically get hacked. So there are lots of ways that there are lots of tricks they use. So you just need to be watchful.
And tends to be, I think, a scam that's aimed more at younger people, because I think this is how a lot of the crypto scammers operate. That
Mm,
they take over someone's account, and then that account messages all their friends. And
yeah, I think is really targeted at everyone, but majorly, yeah, I could say the younger people, but I don't know. I would say everyone basically. I don't think there's a particular demographic or age group that is being targeted mostly by this type of social engineering. I think it's everyone in general.
yeah,
That's my own thoughts. Yeah.
now I'm just going back to the little list that I wrote. I think you and I probably discussed
Okay.
this, because I think it might have been you that said this to me, or somebody said to me, that on this is basically how to avoid being contacted by scammers in the first place. And the first thing on the list that I've got is, don't put on your profile that you're divorced or widowed or separated or single, because you're just
Yeah.
inviting contact. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
weird. It's this. The whole thing is now. Oh, we're back. Some weird things. It's Saturday night. I expect the internet here is on go slow as well. Um, you're
Okay.
just inviting the wrong kind of contact. Is it
Yeah. That.
buffering a lot for people? It looks to me as if it's buffering here. I may have to start doing lives not on a Saturday night, because I think Saturdays and Sundays. Um,
Yeah, I think they are really saturated. Lots of people using the.
yes, yes. I may change lives to Friday nights. Is it buffering for people that are watching? Again, that awful silence before somebody can answer. Count up to
Ye-
20 and then see whether anyone answers us. Oh dear.
yeah, yeah. That I
Well,
think
let's
Dark Angel
assume that
was.
it's not.
Yeah, I think some people are responding to what you said about
Yeah,
what you just said. So someone said Dark Angel says get a VPN. It helps too. Yeah, I think VPN is really important to sort of remain anonymous and prevent you from getting scammers to contact you. Because yeah, it's helpful if you can get a VPN also.
yeah.
Okay, now I'm
Um,
seeing their responses. Someone said not Friday, I'll be at work.
yes.
E-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, no, they say it's fine. Okay. Well, we'll carry on and assume that it is fine then. Um, so after don't put on your status that you're widowed, divorced, or single. I've got keep your profile private. Um, so that's another mistake I think that a lot of people make is their social media profiles are not necessarily as private as they think that they are. And
Yeah.
all my
Eh,
girls have profiles that don't that interact in public places
mm.
and that people can find.
Yeah, I would also say it's important we avoid putting PII, they call it PII, personally identifiable information, like your personal details. Some people are so quick to jump on surveys, and once they see any survey, they want to fill a survey that is requiring their phone numbers, their emails, their names. So they're basically collecting all the important information that they could use to spam you or scam you. So basically, um, sorry. So basically, you could get, or what they do is that they could get one bogus information. They could say, oh, there's this free. They could bring something up. They have lots of stuff they bring up. So they could tell you that there's something free, and you need to sign up for the free package or free offer, whatever it is. And then the moment you start putting in your details, your phone number, your address, your whatever it is, then it's easier for them to have that database, and then they can easily call you because they have your phone number. They can send you spam emails because now they have your emails. So just restrict the number of places you put those details. And also, it's advisable not to put your important emails in those forms. Some people have like three different or four different emails for different things. Some people have emails they use to sign up for stuff. Some people have emails they use to receive important messages and all. So it's important that you you have different emails, but not at least four. Three is enough. Three different emails is enough, and then you can use or you can use a temporary email to sign up for all those surveys or something like that, so that you don't get disturbed on your personal email. I think that's important.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, it's sort of raining here, so it's the rain might be
all right.
disrupting
I,
the
I
audio.
can't I can't hear anything at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah. So, in one of your recent videos, I don't know if you can talk about this for us. In one of your recent videos, you said you were joining some groups that the romance scammers join to see how they operate. Can you tell us
um
about that, or is that not
yeah, sure,
public
sure,
yet?
sure. Yeah, sure. So although I said I was going to create a video to show everything that has happened so far relating to that, and how it happened and everything basically. So the brief overview is that I decided to get into one of these scammers group or Yahoo Boys group, or yeah, I think that's what they call them, to see the new type of scams or formats, like they call it. to see what they recently used to try to scam people, and hopefully get this information out and prevent people from getting scammed. But along the line, I think I got scammed. But I would explain that when I officially release the video on my channel. And so what I saw in that group was that I saw they were sending lots of information, like a Word document that they had written different formats on how to communicate with the people they want to scam. They call it clients. So they send this, they share those formats. They call it formats. They share them on the group, and then they also share tools. Okay, they share some tools that they use, and they just show you how to use those tools and how to make your scam more successful, something like that. It's just like a school for teaching how to scam. It was really ridiculous, but I was really shocked with the information I saw. Perhaps I would find time to drop the video so that everyone will be able to see the chat. Everybody will be able to see the charts, and maybe also have insight on how these people operate.
So when I say that scammers sound as if they're working their way down a list of questions, they really are working their way down a list of questions.
Yeah,
And that's the reason why they all ask the same questions with the same spelling mistakes.
exactly.
Yeah. And am
Exactly.
I also right in thinking that possibly a lot of them use speech to text software?
Yeah, they do, but I don't think they use that to communicate. I don't think they
Right.
use that to communicate like verbally. I've not really come across much. I know I've seen a few, but I don't think is I don't think their MO is using text to speech. What I know that they use is, I think I uploaded a a short showing how they try to, for example, if I'm a scammer and I'm talking to you, and you request to see me. So what they do is they just put a pre-recorded video on the camera, so that they place it very well, so that you wouldn't know that you are talking to a scammer. There wouldn't be any audio, and then after a few seconds of showing that particular video, they just cut it off, and they tell you that they have a bad network, or they just look for some form of excuse. And yeah, there are lots of tricks that they use, which I'm going to expose a lot very soon. So just watch out.
Yeah. Because the reason that I got the idea that sometimes they use text to speech software is that I've often thought that they use text to speech software that is set to understand an American accent, because common things that are mistyped and which my characters always tease them about, they'll say, I leave here. Oh, you've got that buzz back. Is they'll say, I leave here rather than I live here, because the accent doesn't, the software mistypes it as leave rather than live. And also, Kathy on the chat was talking earlier about one of her scammers telling her that he's a ship, but that's another one, because verbally you say sheep, which the software misinterprets as being a woolly
Yeah,
animal with four legs.
yeah. You're right. You're right, though. I think most of them, or some of them, actually use text to speech. But it's still very easy to predict or to easily spot when they are using text to speech, because there are always some spelling errors and um, some blunders or something like that. So you would easily notice.
And in scammer school, as I think of it, because several of them work in groups, don't they? A lot of them, as far as I can tell, a lot of them work on their own, and then there are some that work in small groups. Um, and now I've forgotten what I was going to say. You can put it down to old age. I do. Mind you, I've been putting it down to old age for years. I've forgotten what I was going to say. So forget it.
It's
I'm sure it was thrilling. Somebody says it's very hard, yes, almost impossible to use text to speech if a person is not a native speaker. Well, it's more, I think, more to do with training the software, isn't it, to understand your own personal accent. Because I always think the thing about accents, because people say, well, how can people not realise the person they're talking to has got a Nigerian accent or a Ghanaian accent or an Indian accent or a Jamaican accent? The thing about accents, or how do those people not realise that the rest of us are going to think they've got a very strong accent? The thing about accents is none of us think we've got one. I don't think I've got an accent because it's what I'm used to
yeah.
hearing. You probably think, I don't understand the word she's saying because it's not the accent you're used to hearing. And yeah, and so none of us understand that other countries and other accents find
Accents.
us and every how do I put this, every native language, you know, if you're Dutch or you're French or you speak Yoruba or you speak one of the South American languages, has its own innate accent because of the way things are pronounced, you know, the Chinese, which then if you then try and speak another language makes it sound really weird because your own accent, whatever your accent is, overlays it. But none of us think we have an accent. So I'm quite sure that the scammers don't realise that to us they have a very strong accent. Oh, you've gone very buzzy.
Mm,
Oh, and you've frozen.
yeah.
Oh,
I my network is my network is really is glitchy this evening, but
uh, yeah. I'm really going to have to think twice about doing interviews on a Saturday night with people who've got living, yeah, because if everybody's on, if there's not a football match on, is there? To tell me everybody's not watching football online, Manchester United or something.
yeah.
Apologies to all Manchester United fans
I'm a
everywhere.
Manchester United fan.
I have cousins who live in Manchester and who are season
Okay.
ticket holders.
Wow.
Just to make you
Wow.
jealous. And I have a young cousin who actually works for Manchester United. He's
Wow.
not football.
Wow. Okay.
But obviously, I'm not going to tell you their names because you don't know. Nobody knows who I really am. Well, Perfume Addict does,
Yeah.
but um, so let's see. But let's just. I don't know if this comes up on the screen when they. So the next thing I've got, fairly obviously, but of course, people do it when they get drawn into the scams, is never send money. But of course, the whole point of the scams is that the person that's scamming you, whether they're a call centre or a crypto scammer or a romance scammer or any other kind of scammer, makes you believe them. And so that's why you send the money. But we really need to somehow raise awareness, don't we, amongst older and younger people, never to. You've frozen again. Oh, never to send money. That's the key, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's important never to send money. But I don't know. It's kind of difficult because there are lots of people that want to. Some people are new into maybe cryptocurrency and they don't know how it works, and they get to meet this person that tells them, "Oh, I'm an expert in cryptocurrency. I know how it works. I can predict the markets. I can predict the rise or fall of all these things." And all you need to do is just pay $100, and then I'll show you how it works. They could show you websites. They could show you a well forged website with lots of good reviews about them. And for a beginner or for someone who is quite naive, they would believe this stuff, and they will send the money, and they keep on sending the money until they notice that they've been scammed. So it's really difficult, but I think um it's really important just to, once anything about money is coming up in a conversation, once you're discussing with someone and you see that the discussion is tending towards requesting for money or for some sort of finances, then you need to be cautious, because at that point you need to ask yourself, could this be a scam? You don't just need to, you don't just keep putting your money, or you don't just keep agreeing to whatever the person is saying. Once the topic of money, or once the discussion of money comes into play, then you need to be worried. You need to be cautious. You need to look deep. You need to do your due diligence, make your research on whatever that thing is, or whatever that person is telling you. So I think that is really important. But in terms of giving money to these people, the recent one which I get comments on my videos about is, people send there's a way these scammers do that. They send a sort of spam email that says they've hacked into your computer, and they saw you doing some interesting stuff, and they have those clips or those footages, and they will go ahead to leak those footages, or they will share those footages with everyone on your Facebook or whatever. And then, except you pay maybe $1,000, except you pay this amount in cryptocurrency, if you don't pay it after within 48 hours, they will go ahead and upload these pictures and all. But they really don't have anything. What they are doing is just trying to scare you, and most people fall for that because they feel like, oh, for this person to have and funny enough, they don't just send you an email, random email. What they do is that they must have gotten a screenshot of your desktop, and there are lots of ways they could have gotten a screenshot of your desktop or a screenshot of your browser. And it could either be because you've downloaded a sort of malware on your computer, which made them monitor you. They must have gotten a remote access to your computer. So most people, you need to avoid those. For those that download cracked software, I don't know how. I know it's illegal in countries like America, maybe in the UK, and so many places, but somehow people still find ways in or ways to download cracked versions of maybe Photoshop or Filmora or whatever it is. They get these cracked versions, and these cracked versions must have been modified by hackers or scammers. So when you do that, when you download them, they have remote access to your computer. They can see your computer screen. They can see whatever you're typing. So these people get sent the screenshot of their laptops or the screenshot of their desktops, then with that email accompanying it. So when they see that email saying, oh, I have see the screenshot of your desktop, and I have more information, I have your passwords, I have everything, they get scared, and they end up sending money to these people. So it's really important that if you get any of those emails, just ignore them. Don't engage with them. Don't discuss with them any further. Just I would say just block them immediately. Don't respond to their emails. But it is important to be online safe in the first place. Avoid downloading any random software you don't know about. I think I have a lot of videos on my channel that exposes some of these things, including mobile applications that you could get on the Play Store. Not all not all applications on your Google Play Store are safe to use. There are some that are malicious softwares, and there are a lot of attack vectors. Let me just put it that way. But never give money to anyone. That, I think, that's just the crux of this discussion.
I have never seen that scam that you're talking about, which is basically when somebody, this is an adult channel, it's basically when somebody receives an email saying that somebody's seen them viewing pornography or got pornographic pictures of them. I've never seen that with screenshots. That's scary. I mean, I've had people phone me up because they've been frightened just by receiving an email saying that the sender has got dirty dirty pictures of them, but I've never seen it with a screenshot. That would be even more scary, wouldn't it?
Um, Yeah, I have a video on my channel. I'm just trying to find the name, but the screenshots. I mean the thumbnail will help you find the video faster. But if you
Yeah,
check the comments, I think the comment has over 200 comments, and these comments are from people that were saying that they were scared when they received such emails, and they got the screenshots of their laptops and everything. So you can find the video. I'll see if I can find it and just share it on my community
yeah,
tab. So
yeah.
you will see all the comments and all the experiences of people, including those that downloaded all these cracked versions of softwares, um, those that have not been online safe basically. So they will tell you their experiences and how they almost gave out the money that was requested, if not because they saw my video and the advice I gave on the video on what to do, they would have given money to these scammers, and they were requesting for a large sum of money. So I think it's really important we are careful on what we do, or how we use the internet basically, or what we do online.
So if somebody receives one of those, or they have any reason to think that there might be malware on their, let's say, laptop, what would you advise them to use to scan it with? What do you use?
Okay, so you could use I have about two anti-malware or antivirus solutions on my laptop. I have Sentinel One, and then I have Malware Bytes. Okay, so
That's the one I use. Yes,
you could use Malwarebytes. Okay, so you could use them, but the free version wouldn't really help you. So you need to consider getting a paid version of antivirus software. Using free version wouldn't really give you all the capabilities or all the features that you require for a thorough scan. So once you receive any of that, or once you're not sure if you have a malware on your computer, you need to run a total or a full scan on your computer using your antivirus software. But in the first place, if you have an antivirus software, it will be difficult in the first place to have any of those malware entering your computer. It's only if you don't have an antivirus on your computer that you most likely have a malware on your computer. So if you've gotten the malware, or if you feel like you have a malware on your computer, go and download Malwarebytes. Get the paid version. I think I don't can't remember how much it costs, but I think it's still on the affordable side compared to other solutions. Then you run a full scan on your computer. Or sometimes I just advise people to consider a total reset on the PC, which means you might lose your files and some of all those things. But it's the best way to get clean and make sure that there's no backdoor hidden, or there's no stuff that is still attached somewhere on your computer. So those are the two things I would advise. Either you perform a full antivirus scan, or you consider wiping your PC if you really don't have too many important um, stuff there.
and would you advise people who have a Mac, an iPhone, or an MacBook or something to do the same? Is it true that
Mm,
they're safe from malware?
no, they are definitely not safe from. I think most people had it's like what's it called, misconception that um, those using MacBooks or those using Apple devices are safe, or they are in terms of getting malware and all. But no, all those devices, MacBooks also have their own viruses. They have their own malwares that um, that are targeted to those devices. But I'm sorry, but I think Windows, because there are lots of users that use Windows, or Windows has the most number of users, so it's obviously the target to is the one that is majorly targeted. But one thing is important to note, that there are some malwares um, that can know the environment in which they are being installed on, and then they can adapt to that environment and still cause the same damage. Okay, there are some malwares that at a point in time, just last week, I didn't know. I was chatting with a cybersecurity friend of mine, and then I was like, "Oh, someone sent me an email, a spam email saying, oh, we want to sponsor your channel. We want to sponsor your channel, and you need to do this, do that." So the person sent a link. The person sent a PDF. Okay, the person sent a PDF and some information on the mail body of the mail on what I'm supposed to do for me to get the sponsorship, for me to get paid. So I already knew that it was a scam, or it was aimed at getting me to install something or click on something that would give them access to my computer. So I had to send, because I don't know how to do malware analysis. That's a part of cybersecurity. There are some people that do malware analysis. They scan a file, they know how to check the file if it's a malware or not. So I sent it to my friend that is in cybersecurity to help me look into this file and to check if it's a malware. Although I've seen stuff like that, this is not the first time I'm receiving those type of emails, because I have my email in my about section, and then they keep reaching out to me with these their scam offers, telling me. So basically, they'll tell you to open the link. When you click on the link, it will take you to either a Dropbox platform or a mega platform. Mega is just like Dropbox, is a cloud storage. Then what will be inside the cloud storage is an executable file, an exe file, and maybe a Word document that shows you the steps on how you can go ahead with the contract, to sign the contract, and whatever it is. Fake, just very funny information. So once you click on that executable, it immediately um, drops the payload, it just immediately executes the whatever it's supposed to do, and then they have access to your computer, but you wouldn't know because it won't really show you any signs of that. So it's I think it's really important to take note of all those things and some of those tricks which they could use.
And that's um, interesting information. If anyone on here has a new YouTube channel, that, because I've had those as well, that is has, that is approaching monetization, um, and you will start getting lots of spam approaches for sponsorship. I can't tell you how many I've had, and I've had the ones that Emmanuel's talking about, wanting me to download a .rar file, or I had I think the very first one I had was a fake Nike one. Well, my channel had about 1,200 subscribers at the time. I really don't think Nike were going to send me a full set of kit to me. And let's face it, I'm a woman of a certain age. You probably don't want to see me prancing around in gym kit anyway. And this was supposed to be the list of products that I could choose from. Not happening. Yeah. And then I get endless ones wanting to promote their
Ron,
game.
Ron,
Their game.
yeah. Romham said, "I'm paranoid about getting my phone hacked. Everything is on our phones." So yeah, I think I didn't complete what I was trying to say.
Oh,
I
sorry.
I was
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was talking about how they sent this malware on via email to me. So I was telling my friend that this malware is targeted at those that have Windows computer or laptop or something like that. That I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Can he help me to scan the file? And then he told me that he said it this way. Who told you that it's just for Windows or for laptops, that if you click on this file, or if you click on this link, or if you click on this executable on your mobile device, that it will have the same effect as if you clicked on it on your Windows. So there are some malwares that regardless of what operating system you're using, or regardless of what device you're using, they would still perform a specific function. So yeah, it's important. Mobile phones these days are like what people use. Like everyone is using mobile phones either to create content, to work, to send emails. So even more than laptops now, what we are seeing now is mobile malwares. So it's really important to take note of that also. Sorry,
Mm.
Romham said, but if they have your phone number, can they hack with just your phone number? No, 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 no. If they have your phone number, they can't really do anything. The only thing they can do is maybe try to get OTP, and they can't hack you with just your phone number. It's not feasible. Yeah.
But that, of course, is where what Emmanuel was saying earlier comes in, which is people hopping on Facebook and doubtless other social media platforms and taking part in all these surveys. Somebody asks the question, what if you add together the last thing you've eaten and your favourite colour, that's your screen name or something. Well, you're giving people all the information that they need to reset your password. So they've then got your phone number. If they hit on one that says what's your favourite colour, or what's your favourite food, they've got a chance that some of the people in that list have just given them their security information, and people do it all the time.
Yeah.
There are some people that can't resist a silly quiz. How many? I bet you can't think of a country that ends with the letter A. Well, of course, there's dozens of them.
Yeah, this kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or I bet you can't think of a country that ends in the letter Y. And basically, all that they're doing is they're collecting a list of usernames as much as anything else, aren't they? Suckers,
You're right,
basically.
actually.
So let's target them. Has anyone got any questions for Emmanuel? Any questions? Because now we have to wait for about a minute before anyone actually hears us, and then
Okay.
and then thinks. Thanks for answering, says Rumham. I don't ever click links they send, but may have called without blocking number. Yeah, until a few days ago, I had a separate phone. China, says Kathy, completely out of the blue. Until a few days ago, I had a separate phone for Annie, but I used it so rarely that they've cancelled the SIM card. But when I did that video, Germany, that doesn't end in A, Kathy. Oh, Y. Okay. See, they've fallen for it. And so I blocked my number when I was talking to that call centre, the video that went live last night, where they accused Annie of already having phoned them twice, which she actually genuinely hadn't.
Yeah.
They can send a password reset to your phone and say they need that code. Can they, Roger? Because usually when it's a password reset to your phone, the number is in your account. So it usually just says it will be sent to phone number ending, 357 or whatever. But the thing is, you've got to keep your wits about you, but because next weekend's guest, who is on the chat here, is going to come and tell us about a scary experience that they had when a romance scammer misused one of their photographs. I won't tell you anymore. Right, okay. How does Emmanuel feel about these people who scam in his country? It creates such suspicion, and it's nice to hear Emmanuel on here.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't really feel, or it doesn't really feel good when um they attribute Nigerians with scamming, or they say, oh, it's a Nigerian scammer. It's a Nigerian scammer. You keep hearing that. It's not really good, and I feel with time, it's just like in Nigeria now. We our cybersecurity is really not as good as it should be like other countries. But I think with time, it's getting to that level where once the cyber security is improved, and hopefully the government, because the government is a really or has a really important role to play in terms of um, the perception that people get about the country. And but let me just state one important thing: not all Nigerians are scammers. Although you see some, even funny enough, you could see an African that's maybe a Ghanaian or a Cameroonian that is trying to scam you. There are scammers in those other countries too. But once they have this African accent, they immediately attribute them to being Nigerians. But it's not always the case. So I think we just have to try to change the narrative, which is what I'm trying to do, to let people know that not all Nigerians are scammers. And then, if you get in touch with any of the Nigerian scammers, just I don't know, I don't know, but just have that in mind, though. Not all Nigerians are scammers, so that it does not your perception or your the way you see Nigerians is not tainted. Let me just put it that way.
And not all scammers, not all romance scammers are Nigerian. The same as not all call centre scammers are
Yeah,
Indian,
actually, not.
and not all Indian call centres are scams.
Yeah.
But, you know, we are all wary. If you answer the phone and you hear an Indian voice, you are instantly
Yes. Yes.
wary. Um, and I'm sure that's happens around the world. And I think it's personally think it's very sad, but I often say that all cultures, all countries, all areas within a country have certain crimes, misdemeanors, if you like, that are committed. Because once somebody, for example, where I used to live, a very common thing was stealing the lead off the roof of a church. Well, once somebody's discovered they can do it and they can make money doing it, other people jump on the bandwagon. So, it my perception is that whereas, let's say, an unemployed street dropout in the UK is probably hanging around on a street corner, effing and blinding, causing a nuisance, smoking the wacky backy, and stealing money out of the pocket of any old lady that walks past, because that's what all his or her mates do. The equivalent school dropout in Nigeria is bought the list that Emmanuel's told you about because his mates have been doing it. Not because he's Nigerian,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
because his
yeah.
mates have been doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's I think that's their motive. Once they see that some other people are doing it, they jump on that wagon too, and they try to do it. So I think Perfume Addict asked the question
Oh, you've disappeared.
here.
You're coming and going.
She said, can you
I think she
can you
wants to
hear me?
marry you. She said, yes, I think Perfume Addict fancies you. She said, are you single?
Okay, let me answer the first one. Let me answer the first one first. So yeah, I've never gotten threatened to do by scammers. I've never really gotten threatened. Although I've had conversations with them when in the end of the long conversation, after scam baiting them and then wasting their time, I tell them that I'm also in Nigerian and I understand what they are trying to do. I say it in pidgin. I say it, Oga, I know what you they do, that kind of thing. And is what I mean basically is I know what you're doing. That's the meaning of that. So when I speak the pidgin English to them, they're immediately thrown off. They're like, wow, so um, you're a Nigerian, because I have different other accounts I use to fish out these scammers. So, but I've never really gotten threatened, like, oh, why are you doing this video about us? This, that. I don't. I don't really think they also have time for that. So they just want to get money. They are not after, because they wouldn't even want to threaten me because they don't know my level of power or connections or all those stuff. So I've never gotten threatened. And the
Yeah.
second one, am I single? Am I single? Well, yes, I am. I'm single. So I think that's an information out there. So is
Just
there any
send some
other
money to his
question?
Bitcoin account and he'll come and visit you.
Uh, yeah, perhaps.
Uh, a question that I'd be interested in is what is it, how difficult is it for young people to get jobs in Nigeria? Is it as difficult as the scammers say it is?
Well, yeah, the unemployment rate in Nigeria, it's a lot, but I think most of those people that are saying they are not enough available jobs, they are not. There are some people that are not, how would I put it, they are not equipped, they are not, um, like, you need to know what you need to have something that you do to actually want a job or to actually get a job. There are lots of jobs out there every day. You keep on seeing jobs, but are you good enough? Are you skilled enough? Yeah, that's the word. Are you skilled enough to get that job? Because no company or no organization will just want to get anyone to um, just fill in the company. But um, I understand also that sometimes there's this, sorry, their lack, the amount of jobs are also quite limited in the country. There's high rate of unemployment, and there's also nepotism a lot in Nigeria. Nepotism where it's just basically, if you don't know someone in that company or in that organization, you cannot get that job. So except you are really good, except you stand out, and they know that okay, this person is really good, this person can do this, this person is a good banker, this person is a good financial analyst, this person is a good data analyst, then we need to have him regardless. Then you're sure of getting a job. So I think the most important thing is those that are out there feeling like, if any Nigerian is listening to this, but those that are out there feeling like there are not enough jobs to do or something like that, just make sure you are skilled. You could also make money. There are some people that jump on YouTube to create content and then strive to make money from YouTube. There are some people that create comedy videos on TikTok, on YouTube. It's not like some of those people, it's not because they want to do it or because they found themselves doing it. It's because they felt like, oh, since there are not enough jobs, I could as well find something else to do to to make money for myself. So I don't think anyone has an excuse of saying there's no job and then the person starts scamming. There are lots of other things you could do, that are not maybe white collar jobs, and you could make money from doing those things. There are some people that do the physical job where you need to maybe physically carry some things or push some things or do some things. There are some people that do other stuff, maybe on Fiverr. Just learn a skill. I think that's really important.
Yeah. And what about unskilled jobs? So cleaners or washers up, or
Most
so people that
most
were carers.
mo- most Nigerians don't want to do those kind of jobs, and that's the problem you have, because once you see on social media that this person is living in an expensive apartment or living a luxury life, they immediately get attracted to those things, and nobody wants to do any form of menial job. They want to do only jobs that will make them look high on or high class or standard or something like that. No one wants to do anything. No one wants to work as a cleaner, as an office assistant, as a caretaker or a caregiver. They don't just want that stuff. They just want something. Oh, I'm into tech. I'm into programming. I'm a coder, or I just get money. I'm a content creator. I'm an influencer. So that's what you see most people trying to do. Nobody wants to do the menial jobs, even though the menial jobs are there or the smaller jobs are there, but they don't want to do it. They rather go into scamming. because they feel like it's going to give them more money with maybe less stress or so. I think
Yeah.
so.
And I have this perception that most scammers seem to want to spend most of their time asleep. Is that because they're up there a lot of scamming takes place during the night?
Um,
And so what would be the
sorry,
daytime to
sorry. Can you say that? Can you say that again? I didn't get you.
uh, a lot of scammers will say to me, oh, they're tired, they need to go to sleep, or they've just woken up. Is that because the UK is pretty much on the same time zone as Nigeria most of the time? Apparently not at the moment. Um, but is that because they've been up late at night trying to scam people in the United States, and therefore what I would think of as the daytime to a scammer is the time when they need to sleep because they were up half the night? Or do they just spend
Um,
a lot of time asleep?
no, perhaps they are trying to, maybe whatever discussion they're having with you is seeming not to go the way they want. Maybe they're trying to get money from you, or they're trying to get some information from you, and then they notice, because they will know when you are taking them around, they will know when you're not being straightforward, they will know when you're not giving them what they want. So they want to go to another client or another person, they want to have a conversation with another person, so they tell you that I need to go to bed, or I need to do this, and they just move on to having a discussion with another client or someone that they are trying to scam, and they just put you aside until they feel like, oh, they need to resume the conversation with you. So it's not like
Yeah.
the so that's just one reason. Another reason could actually be like they want to, or could be that they want to actually go to bed or sleep. I don't know if they sleep during the day. I don't know how their routine is like, but um, I think some of them also, maybe they pretend to be in, because they will not tell you they are Nigerians. They pretend to be maybe from US, and US is like 6 hours behind. So I assume the morning time will still be the night time in US, and so they just want to make it seem believable. But I don't think I don't know. They could have different reasons. They could have
Yeah.
different reasons.
So you think of a lot of it is the same as well. They'll suddenly say when they're talking to you, "Oh my, I've got a bad network," and cut the call because they don't know the answer. Or
Yeah, yeah, most likely. So, so I think Perfume Addict is asking another question. She said, "SC Cybersafe, what's the average wage? Plus, is there a drug problem? There, Lynn, there. Okay. Um, the average wage, it's how much is it? How much is it? Like, I think let's say 40,000 naira, which is equivalent to 40,000. So I think that's about $80. 40,000. So $80, I think, is the average wage. Yeah. Okay, or at least that's minimum wage, not average. Sorry, that's the minimum wage. But the average, I think average varies depending on the industry. But the minimum wage here is 40,000 naira, which is about $80 or less, or $60 thereabouts,
what?
per
That's per
month.
week or per
Per
month?
month, yes,
Right.
which is
What's
very
the
which is
cost?
very
What
little.
is the cost of living?
The cost of living is, well, it depends on this. Yeah, it depends where you live or where you stay. In Lagos has a high cost of the high cost of living in Lagos, or the cost of living in Lagos is high. Sorry, and also maybe in Abuja and some other states. But there are some other states um, that has no cost of living. You don't really need to spend much. But if you are in Lagos, where I am currently, oh, I've told you where I am. But regardless, um, regardless, in
I don't think
Lagos,
they'll track you
there's
down.
they don't have my exact address. But in Lagos, in Lagos, the cost of living is really really high, and that amount wouldn't really last. I don't know, it's just too little. That's it. And some of these people have family also. That's why things are tough basically for so many people, but people are finding ways to manage themselves and all. So I guess we are praying for a better government that would change things and change the perception on and every other thing. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Roger Williams says, how do scammers, especially younger scammers, hide what they do from their family?
Hmm, that's really interesting. Um, so for example, now, I don't think anybody will be any of these scammers. I don't think any of these young scammers actually um, scam in their homes, like where they have their parents. Most of them live off their parents, like they don't live with their parents. So they maybe stay in apartments with other peers, other friends. But if they're at home, they don't they can't be at home and then doing all these scams because then they would get caught. So I think most of these people that are into this scamming stuff, I don't know how they do it, and I don't know if their parents actually know about all these things. I don't know. It's really a place. This question is really tricky because I've never really imagined um, how their relationship with the parents. I don't know really. So maybe I'll try to figure that out.
Do you think there's any hope that your government is going to change and things will improve?
I just we just have to be hopeful because it's only hope that it's we just have to be hopeful. But with the way things are, I think even Nigerians in general, the mentality of few Nigerians is it's not really good, but there are some that are really good. So I just feel we are just hopeful and we believe because we are going to have an election for a new president by next year around February March. So hopefully people will make the right decision in terms of voting. But now there are lots of agitation on rigging and all this other stuff. So it's in Africa in general, politics is just it's different from other countries. It's I mean from other places like the US, and politics in African countries, especially in Nigeria, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's not just good. So Perfume Addict said, um, let's see, Cybersafe, have you been to England? No, I've not been to England. Although one day I would visit England. I would visit England.
And come to Manchester and watch Manchester United.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Emmanuel, from what you've seen, are there now scammers all over the world?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I don't know. I can't say. I've not really seen the statistics, but I know there's at least one scammer in all the countries around the world, regardless of the country, and no matter how religious the country could be, there's at least one scammer in all those countries. So yeah, there are scammers all around the world, but there are some countries where it has eaten deep into those countries and it's really spreading. So
Yeah.
the only thing we
It's
can do is just to.
the unfortunate thing about my channel is that I target a particular type of scam. Um, and I have recently been getting quite a lot of contacts, my girls, from scammers in a different part of the world. But from my point of view, they're no fun to bait because, well, you all saw the Muftar video, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He was an extreme example, but mostly, I had one today who came straight on and said, "Can I be your man?" Or they will literally start. I had one started by saying, "I want to marry you," and then they want you to go to the. I'm not going to say which part of the world because it's as unfair to tar that part of the world with a brush as it is to say that. It's unfortunate that all my scammers come from Nigeria. I don't have it in for Nigeria. I just target that kind of scammer any more than the people who the call centres have it in for India. They
Um,
don't.
but
Most of them love
but
India.
but I want to ask: is there how do you know that they are Nigerians? Like, how do you know that most of them are Nigerians? Is there a way you know? Because I feel like maybe not all of them might be Nigerians. Or what do you think? How are you certain that all of them are Nigerians?
No, I'm not certain that all of them
Or
are Nigerian, and I'm fairly sure that some of them are not. I know that I have had people from Ghana. I used to send the dodgy tracking links. I don't do
okay,
that anymore because I don't think, generally speaking, that it matters where they're from. A lot, when my characters fly at them, will then turn around and tell me they feel a confession coming on, and they'll tell me they're in Nigeria if you watch my videos, without me accusing them of being in Nigeria or me saying that I think they are. Um, I think that's another tactic, possibly, that's being shared within the Nigerian scamming community, is that if you feel you're under attack, give a fake confession and tell them you're in Nigeria. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that they are. Some of them
yeah,
might not
yeah,
be.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
one yesterday that I'm fairly sure is in Kenya.
Wow,
Apart from the fact he told me he was in Kenya,
uh,
was a clue.
wow,
Um, you would be better tuned into the difference between the
yeah,
accents
yeah,
than I am.
yeah.
I hate myself for historical reasons for not being able to tell the difference between a Ghanaian accent and a Nigerian accent, for example, because for many years I had a lovely colleague who's since passed on from Ghana. He was only a short little man. He had a very deep voice, and I could never copy his accent. And his favourite saying, like this, was "You people," and I never worked out whether he meant the people he worked with, um, anybody that was British, or anyone that was white in general. But he taught me everything that I knew about the job I was doing at the time. So the fact that I can't tell a Ghanaian accent from a Nigerian one bugs me. Um,
Um,
are there different? Are there different accents? Because we're back to this thing about accents. Because I noticed somebody in the chat said, "Well, I don't have an accent," as a joke. Um, but
the, uh,
within
they are doing.
Nigeria, are there different accents?
Uh, yeah, within Nigeria, there are different accents because there are different tribes. There are the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas, and others. So there are different accents, but we basically speak English. So I don't think you can know that this person speaking is a Nigerian, and that's just all because the way a Nigerian speaks English is different from the way a Ghanaian speaks English. Okay, so but we can tell, they can tell that, oh, this is a Ghanaian and this is a Nigerian, this is a Kenyan. So you can easily tell apart some of these people. Or when you hear someone talking, you will know, okay, this is definitely not a Nigerian. He might be from Mozambique, it could be from Uganda, it could be from any other African country, but this is definitely not a Nigerian. So you would know based on the accent and the way they speak. So I think everyone actually has an accent, regardless of your country. If you're in the UK, you're in the US, so everyone has an accent, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, so
Everyone has an accent, and nobody thinks that they do because they're used to hearing themselves. So I'm sure you don't think you've got an accent,
yeah,
and but you can tell, you can hear me, and you think, "Oh goodness, she's got this terrible accent, and I can't understand what she's saying." And people listening to you think, "Well, he's got a Nigerian accent." Obviously, he has.
actually,
Obviously, I've got an English accent. That's where I live.
mhm.
Um, you know.
Yeah, it's where you live, so you have an English accent. Although it's not. I think there are some that are how do I put it? There are some that is it strong? I don't know. There are some British accents that I don't know how I don't know how to describe it though, but it's different.
We have a lot of very different. Oh my goodness, Tail Grant, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Um, yeah, we have a lot of different accents in the UK. I couldn't do a Scottish one, and I certainly couldn't do a Glaswegian one. But if I went to Glasgow, I think I said this in one of my videos, if I went to Glasgow on a Saturday night and went into the town centre, I literally wouldn't understand a word they were saying. They would claim they're speaking English, but they might as well be talking Croatian. Apologies if I've got any Croatian viewers listening. Um, you know, um, uh, and of course my characters have different accents, and there's lots that I can't do. I wish I could do a Geordie accent of some kind for Celia, who lives in Durham. But despite having spent 4 years in Durham, I never could do a Durham accent. Or any of the other Geordie type accents. And I know if there's anyone listening, they're going to tell me that a Durham accent isn't Geordie. And I know that Annie, who's supposed to come from Dorset, actually sounds like she comes from Gloucestershire. Yeah, we have a lot of different accents. And so,
Okay.
as they do in
Okay.
America, of course.
Yeah, they do everywhere. I think there are lots of different accents. Even in a country, you hear different accents, and it just shows you that okay, this person is from this part of the state. Maybe this person is from Alaska in the U.S. This person is from Florida. It just shows you that they're from different places. So I think it's like that in every country. So I think Roger Williams Cambitin asked an interesting question that I just saw. He said, does the government really get kickbacks from some of the
Oh,
scammers to
yes,
keep
yeah.
quiet or look the other way, or the authorities? Now, I think this is a tricky question, but I would say it depends. Yes, obviously there are people that take bribes, or there are people that take there are people that get kickbacks from these scammers to keep quiet, but not the major authorities. I think the major authorities like the EFCC in Nigeria, the Economic Financial Crime Commissions, those ones, although it's difficult, people collect bribes, so there's a possibility. There was this police officer. I don't know if you know Hush Puppy. It's Hush Puppy is a popular Nigerian scammer that was just arrested in United States and jailed for 9 years, 11 years, but he has spent 2 years already in jail, so he's going to stay there for another 9 years. Hush Puppy. So apparently, before he was exposed and everything, they found his conversation or his chats with a Nigerian police, the commissioner of police, I think in Nigeria, and the chat was really implicating, because it seemed like he was getting kickbacks from these scammers, and he was getting, and the police was even um, in on the scams and all those things. So I think that one also got. I don't know if he was arrested or but yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but maybe not the government. The government itself is it's different. The government is big, so but I think people in authorities, yes, like the police and some other this thing, they could be getting kickbacks or bribes to keep quiet, or to just turn a blind eye on some of these
Yeah.
things. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
And Eruchuan, is that how you pronounce it? Says, I can tell a Hausa accent apart from Yoruba or Igbo now, somewhat at least. I need to learn, don't I? I really do need to learn. Although, do I? Because does it matter? Because
Is this
I
person?
don't I rarely send the dodgy tracking links anymore, because I just don't think that where people are from is relevant to the content of my channel, because the concept behind my channel is warning people about romance scams and how not to be taken in, and I don't think where someone is from is actually relevant. It's just unfortunate that the type of scam that I target is more
Mm,
prevalent, let's say, in certain countries. Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
hate the fact that my channel can be seen as knocking Nigeria. because that's not what
No,
I'm
I,
about.
I don't think anyone would see your channel as such, because uh, rather they will see it as just creating that form of awareness for people to see all the manner of ways they could strike, or the ways they could try to scam them. So I think it's just everyone will see it as an awareness. Even a Nigerian watching your channel, I'm sure you might have Nigerians watching you, but
I
you might
do,
not
yeah.
know. Exactly. So some of them would also see it as a form of awareness. Some will laugh, because even while watching some of those videos, I see the type of vocabulary that these people use, or the type of language they use, or the spelling errors, and some of these things, and I just can't stop laughing. So I think, in as much as we enjoy the humor in the videos and in those conversations, we also know that you are trying to create awareness on these things. So
Yeah.
I guess
And
that's
I
just.
hope people also understand that if I was actually, if any of those people that I were talking to were people that I personally was genuinely talking to, I wouldn't be making fun of the mistakes that they make, because however bad their English is, I can't even say yes or no in Yoruba or Igbo, right?
True.
So their grasp of English is hugely superior to my grasp of their language.
I
And so I
don't
would
know
never make
if
fun of somebody struggling to speak my language if,
yeah,
apart from the fact that the reason I make fun of it is because they claim to be from America or the UK or Australia,
yeah,
usually America. Um,
yeah.
that's the only reason I make fun of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see, is there
And
any other
because
question?
we know that, and I do believe that some of them do use the text to speech software, so we get a lot of sheep instead of
This is
ships.
okay. Yeah, Perfume Addict was saying she saw
Oh, yeah.
uh yeah, the hush puppy guy that was arrested. That guy is the highest scammer Nigeria ever had, because he stole a lot of money from the US, and oh god, like it's ridiculous. The amount of money, millions of dollars, was how much this guy got performing scams, business email compromise, and all of those things. So it's really crazy. Oh, you got another this thing.
I
Thank you,
shall have to
Richard
look him up.
Podna.
Oh,
So I think you got
thank you, Richard.
a
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I'm going to have to look up Hush Puppy. How have I missed that?
yeah, you need to check it. You need to read. I
Yes,
think he has
yes.
if you go to Wikipedia, you will see his profile, and if you read
Right.
about him, that guy is, I don't know. And the thing is that most of these scammers, or most of these people that perform these scams, are really really intelligent. I don't think you can be unintelligent and then try to perform a scam, because these people have to keep thinking. They have to know when to change strategy. They have to know what form of attack or what strategy to use and all. So most of them are really intelligent, and most of them are brilliant. But it's just sad how most of them use their brilliance or their intelligence to perform scams and all.
I think the successful ones are intelligent, but I do suspect that a lot of the ones that contact me are just kids mucking around, having a laugh, and I suspect a lot of them are school dropouts, and I think saying they're intelligent would be over egging the pudding to be fair for a lot
Yeah.
of them.
So I yeah, I think some of the I think the word is, I don't know what, I don't know that the word that she used. I don't know if it's smart, or I think it should it be smart, because I think there's a difference between smart and being intelligent. Being smart is, you know, you can, I don't know how to explain it, but they know when um they know when to change strategy. They know when they could easily predict stuff. Like, they, I don't know. Basically, they think outside the box. Although sometimes maybe the way they act, or the way some of them follow scripts. Like the novice, they follow some scripts. That's why it just sounds very ridiculous when you are communicating with them. But the experts, they are expert scammers. Those ones are, I think their experience has given them sorry, their or them being experts has really given them a lot of stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
need
mean, the
to.
one that I guess people have been watching that I've got on the go at the moment, the series David Bryant, he speaks excellent English. And I don't think I sent him a dodgy tracking link. I can't remember. But I did have the idea for a while that he might have been in the US.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
Did I
but
hear?
yeah. Has anyone got else? Look, we've been on for nearly an hour and a half. Poor Emmanuel, and it's an hour later in Nigeria because being
It's fine.
being British, we changed the time, didn't we?
E-
Here, you know, we
exactly.
changed our time last
I,
weekend, so we're a different time from everyone else now. 2 weeks
I,
ago, we just do it to keep the rest of the world on their toes, you know.
I just noticed. I think it was last or I think it was like shall I say 3 weeks ago when my clock just changed to it went back 1 hour. So I was wondering why my clock did that. That's on my laptop, and I noticed
Ah,
it did the same for most of my colleagues. It just went 1 hour backwards. So I had to take it back 1 hour forward.
yeah,
So it was then I noticed that I think it was picking UK time
yeah.
for us
Is it,
here.
do you change
So I had
clocks
to
in
just
Nigeria, or are you sensible and you keep with the same time all year?
well, we don't change clocks, but I think because my laptop is set to maybe UK, maybe I set it as UK location or
Ah,
the language as UK. Maybe from it just picked up that time change. I don't know, but it happened. So
yeah.
I think there was
Uh,
a question. Okay, sorry. Perfume addict said, SC Cyber say, what is pigeon talk? Is it like a slang? It's not. It's not pigeon talk. It's pigeon English. It's PIDGIN, like pigeon, not pigeon as in the bird. So pigeon English is it's an inflected form of English language, like maybe those that were learning. I think the way it started was those that were getting to learn English language could not really get some words clearly, so they just started making some mistakes, and from there they just formed Pidgin English. So I think that's how it got very popular, and it's a popular um, mode of communication in Nigeria. If I start speaking pidgin English, you wouldn't understand a word of what I'm saying because, well, you might grasp a bit what I'm trying to say because it will have some English in it, but still you might find it difficult to understand. So yeah, I guess that answers that.
yeah. How many languages do you speak?
Just two, just English and Igbo.
Yeah, and pigeon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, we want to. How do I come up with Annie? How do you come up with your characters for the scammer? I don't know. They just come to me. they 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 just start, and I kind of. Annie's been through several incarnations. I'll tell you what. Next weekend I have another guest, but then after that we'll do another Q&A. I think we've kept Emmanuel on long enough now. So I'll say thank you very much to him. One thing I will just say, though, nothing to do with Emmanuel, is I am very disappointed with all of you for not making more nominations for the annual awards. You're going to make me make them all, aren't you? And then just vote. I know what they're up to. Um, because we're going to have a live awards ceremony at the beginning of December sometime. When I've worked out, I've got the categories now. I'm getting the nominations, and it's not about getting it right because I don't remember what half the videos were. So it's just random nominations for random categories, and then we will have a live awards ceremony, probably in the middle of December. Roger Williams says, "Do you do any scam baiting, Emmanuel?"
Yeah, I was about replying him on the chat. Yeah, I usually do, but it depends. I don't just I do more of online safety awareness videos. But yeah, I do scam baiting. You can check I have a playlist called scam baiting, and I think scam watch and scam baiting, where I do some scam baiting. So you can go ahead and check that playlist. You see a lot of scam baiting videos that I've done in I guess in the past, but recently or in the past 3 months, I don't think I've done any form of scam baiting. So yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, you can't spell pigeon, perfume addict. She'll learn. Um, um, okay. It's all right. We'll forgive you. It's just I don't think many pigeons speak pigeon. They just go coo a lot. Um, okay, right. Thank you. There we are. SE Cybersafe. Emmanuel, can you type the address of your channel in there? Do you know it off the top of
Okay.
your head? Because every time
Yeah,
I've
sure.
gone off to look for it, it's interrupted the stream.
Yeah, sure. Mm, okay.
Right. I'll tell you what, Perfume Addict. When he's typed the address of his channel in, we'll ask him to say goodbye in pigeon. Pi- uh, uh, Perfume Addict says, "Could you speak some pigeon?"
Okay. Uh, Waiting you want make I talk. Waiting you want make I talk.
Which
Can you?
means
What do you want me to say? Waiting you want, waiting you want make I talk. So it's like what you heard the word talk there. So it's like